Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you back to the Thaumaturge, where Victor has paid his last respects, such as they were, to his father, and it's time to return to the family home. Probably got our sister to catch up with amongst other things. Maybe our uncle will be there too.
We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Shabwowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
I'm Liggy's brother. She's not consorting with bachelors.
We're twins, my dear lady.
The Shulskis reunited. You don't look like a horrid cripple. Why did you leave Warsaw so quickly?
Don't tell her anything. She'll write whatever she wants anyway. And we'd better get going.
I don't know, I'd quite like to have her on side.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually spurring you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Yes.
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Here we are, in the northern area, where we've got a tenement house. Locked, 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 and locked. So maybe not much to do here, or maybe there's some running around and reading of documents that we can do before we head home. Again, it probably doesn't need to be done at this exact moment in time, but I would like to just do a bit of a scuttle before we head in. It is my way. You won't see any of it if there's nothing worth finding. Okay, we found some gentlemen and a burning bin. They do have an interaction point. There we go, it's a ticket. Wonderful, we have a ticket. Maybe that'll come in handy down the line. What have we here? An advertisement poster. A phonograph. Ooh. And on this bench, a brochure. Safe arsenic soap. A soft matte whiteness to the complexion. Can even handle a strong tan. Interesting. Because of course in these days, having a tan was not necessarily a great thing. It was a sign of someone who has to work outdoors all day. Having a pale complexion was the sign that you lived a life of luxury and was able to just sit indoors and chill out. The opposite of today, really, where having a tan is an indication that you don't have to sit indoors and work all day, and it means you can lie around on beaches and stuff. It's curious how these things change over time, but now it's time to go home.
Young Mr. Shulsky, after all these years, goodness gracious, you're drenched!
Good evening, Grażynka.
Evening, my, you're soaked. Come to the kitchen now, you can warm up by the stove. And that drunken judge, maybe you can drag him out too.
Where's my sister?
In the study, already waiting with the lawyer. She said you were running late. Should I make you some cocoa, master? It would warm you up a little.
Maybe my sister would like some cocoa.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Wonderful. Now, this seems like the sort of place that's going to be full of items that we can poke Father's portrait. Strictness and pragmatism. The faint red streak seen around his figure. The thaumaturgic aura. Maybe the artist was a thaumaturge as well. That's given us a bonus point. Warsaw Courier. The situation was quickly put under control. A few people were injured, including 2 policemen. 30 people were charged with public nuisance and brawling and were taken into custody. Interesting. Did we cause that? Maybe we did. No, those things in a back room. They might be. Who are you, friend?
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today. But you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia, forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Good, that's Cuz. Met and chatted with. A bust of Morana. The Queen of Winter. So, we can go upstairs. There are other things though back here. How do we get to those other... there's a door there. That would explain it. A liquor recipe. Quince liquor. With amber. Then we have Uncle.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stasios. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Yeah, we can pop down to the basement and deal with that. 365 dinner recipes for 5 zlotys. What have we down in the basement? All sorts of mysteries, I'm sure. A portrait of Mother. Nadia is a young, unkempt maiden. Now, have we got any booze down here? We've got all sorts of stuff that we can touch, it seems. There we go, there's the liquor. It looks like it's been touched by Unk on a previous occasion. And then we've got some Sauvignon de Bordeaux. A relationship between 2 people is beginning to take on a romantic edge. A beverage enjoyed by the upper crust, given to a man by a woman. So this is a mysterious woman. Is that the mysterious woman who left the note in Stanislav's tomb, saying how upset she was that he's passed away? Maybe. And a bottle of Pinot Noir from Oregon. It's a favourite beverage, but an unwelcome gift. That seems to be it for this area. Kind of curious about that item. Looks like a camera, maybe. It's just lit up in a way that draws the eye. Hello, Uncle.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
Then we have choices. We could give him what he wants. We could give him Lygia's red wine, or we could give him the white wine that belongs to Mystery Woman. He'd be happy with any of them, according to the objective, but let's give him the liqueur that he wanted.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasia's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasio and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
We could drink to an easy death.
I suppose there's no reason to bear grudges or be angry, is there? Stasio?
To an easy death.
Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Stasio and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both. Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Fair enough. Let's go to the will then. We've not really learned any more about that gentleman.
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Szulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaclav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter Lygia Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Lygia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Let's see if Nadia's getting anything.
Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina. I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared?
It's a mystery.
Did Father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
Well, that seems a bit dramatic.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
I'm wondering if these walks every Tuesday and Thursday were to meet this mysterious woman. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Taumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
We're not going to be a dick about this.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined the Nijitas, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Aboritse, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
I have lots of questions. Especially about the 2 mysterious gentlemen that we met at the cemetery.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
I can have a look through Father's things.
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
In the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish.
I mean, the building itself might be a good lead.
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Wonderful. So, we got all sorts of gubbins that we can get up to. Upir wants to chat. The family portrait, 1884. Behind Father a shadow, as if a shape was emerging and forming, indicating another presence. Balberith. That would be his salutor, I suppose. What say you, Upir?
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there.
Loan shark incident?
Perhaps we should go there and check.
Yeah, maybe that's something we should also get involved in. The human heart is worth more than all the riches of the material world. Tonight. SR. So that's that mysterious woman again. Oh, we've gained one of Chopin's nocturnes. That's nice. Hopefully it doesn't copyright strike everything on this video. Books on Ancient Cultures. That's a book that was owned by Father. Very well. A suitcase. He'd taken trips to Africa. And then we find a ritual mask representing a salutor known as Shirali. Seems that Father had plans which he eventually managed to fulfill. Did he also have multiple salutors? Maybe. And there's a list of demons and such. Very well. What have we on the other side? A charred letter. My love for you is burning. It keeps me from eating, keeps me from sleeping, keeps me from living. Ligia, I am begging you to end my agony. Agree to be my... So somebody loves our sister. Most curious. A message from Mother. So Nadia won't be able to attend the funeral ceremony because she has duties in Paris. So that's why we were going to send a telegram to Paris. Is to keep Mother in touch with what was going on. And that's the letter that we sent to Ligia. So I guess this is her bedroom we're snooping around in. Polish Gazette. Describes our father as an entrepreneur. And then a letter from Paris. So we sent that one earlier. when we were having a hard time establishing what was real and what was not. Is there much going on in this side of the area? This would be Father's bedroom, I guess. There's nothing much going on in there. There's bookcases upstairs. We've got his last will. Yep. And a collection of books on the occult. So yeah, Father was always reading about the occult and trying to learn more. He's hunting for Salazars. Trying to learn everything about thaumaturgy. Why? Why did this go beyond normal curiosity? Is he aware of some sort of threat approaching? No, this would be our bedroom, I guess, because we've got a wardrobe in it. A photo of a couple of boys. That could be ourselves and our cousin, perhaps. We could get changed. We can visit a tailor to get more outfits, but for now, we have one outfit. The Proud Arabesques. I guess we could probably spend some of these points as well. What can we get? Yeah, we're going to keep developing the heart line. And we'll save that extra point, perhaps. It's possible we'll come across something that requires an extra point in deed or word, so having that point in our back pocket might not be bad. A bust of Siren, or is it Siren? They make you want to fall into her clutches, and be lulled into an eternal dream by a sweet song. Yeah, that's Siren. And I believe that's everything to explore up here. We could ask Ligia about SR. That seems like a good next step.
I'm about to go deaf.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
How'd you get this number, Grigori?
How did you know I have a telephone at home?
Something's interrupting you, Victor. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
He's figuring it out. These newfangled telephones aren't for everyone. He's getting the hang of it. So we'll catch up with friend Rasputin down the line. Should we speak to Ligia, or shall we... Let's see, we could have some more liqueur. I don't think we need to do that. We could drink some hot chocolate. That sounds tasty. But let's speak to Sis first.
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
It's unusual gear that you're wearing.
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
Well said.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dunked my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
How's the company doing?
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? Oh, for now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
You can count on me.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I trust the smoke doesn't bother you.
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here, alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it. I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you, his thaumaturge son. Now come on, what else is on your mind?
There's a mysterious woman. We need to know more.
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumyantseva.
That'll be her.
Who is she? And what did Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the crème de la crème of Warsaw. We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation. And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
Very well. We will certainly go to a tailor at some point then, get some garments. I don't know if we want to do anything about our hair. So, the cocoa appears to be conjuring memories. Lygia is reading a book in front of the fireplace, and I'm stacking building blocks. My parents are arguing in the smoking room, and then everything goes to hell. Interesting. And that's earned us another point. So maybe we have some liquor as well. Yeah. Not alcohol, more of a tincture. A medicine. It reminds us of our dear old uncle. Now, we've got more points we could spend. We could continue to push into heart, or we could save them a bit. Now, out onto the street. So that's the door that leads out. Where's that door? Oh, that's the garden. Burglar? Something tells me that we don't want burglars in our garden and we might have to beat them up. What would happen if we put more points into heart at this point? Third principle. Bond of speed. The Salator's next action will be 1 round faster. Yeah, heck with it. We're probably about to go into a rumble, so let's add more points into heart. And now let's deal with these burglars. Everything alright, friends?
Are you lost?
fuck.
Don't try to be a hero, and it'll be all right.
You're outnumbered.
Am I now? You don't have the edge.
Quantity doesn't always translate to quality.
Call the rest. We got one with a death wish.
So reinforcements will be coming, I'm sure. But for now, let's have a look. Yeah, these are level 2 abilities, so we can stack those on top, it seems, of our current ones. Strong attack. 6% chance of double damage. We could add adrenaline. Ah no, that's a buff to ourselves that increases damage. So we want that on something we would use early, like a quick attack. Is that applied? It looks like it is, but I was expecting it to fill in that little second grey box, but there we go. Exposure increases damage. We probably need to spend more points in the others to unlock more options, but that's fine. I don't think obvious target helps on a strong attack, so we're using a strong attack to finish people. So let's put a bond of speed on there. That has applied in the way I was expecting. Ah, but it's taken off gamble. So each skill can only have one thing. But different levels of attack can accommodate higher things. I see. So maybe we'll put Adrenaline Rush on there. Maybe we'll put Gamble on one of these. I'm surprised that it still only has one of those white blocks filled in there rather than 2. But hey ho. Let's disregard suffering to some extent. Let's put Fortune on there, because we can then interrupt people with it, hopefully. Although Perfectionism would be good on there as well, wouldn't it? I would like Fortune to be on something. Yeah, we'll put Fortune on a regular quick attack. Heck it, let's roll. So, what are we looking at? Upir is the best bet. Ah, this enemy has a trait. Attack with Upir to disable. Okay. So yeah, we want to hit this guy sharpish. Then we could give him a quick attack, which would hit after Upir is attacked, and therefore would hit for the full damage that we want. But we also want to buff ourselves with Perfectionism. So now we can give that lad a quick attack. His friend doesn't have as much focus. Maybe his friend gets a bloody penance because he's at full health. Okay. Yeah, we got knifed. We lost some focus. That's fine. So this guy is taking damage at the end of every round. Oh, has he got his trait back or not? No, it's been permanently disabled. I was just wondering why it said we were only going to deal like 1 damage with things, but no, here we go. 6% chance of dealing double damage. Let's go for that. So you take good damage because you were at full health. You took 18 damage. Dang. We can hit you with a quick attack now. You're down before you get to strike again. And Upir could attack that lad. Focus isn't really an issue. What if we did use Book of Ash? Doom would do good damage. It's slow, but it would do good damage. So he does get to knife us again. We lose a bit of focus. But down he goes. So here come the reinforcements. This guy's got no shit. He's a badass. We are suffering. We don't want to be suffering. So that guy's got loads of health but not much focus. So maybe he's a good target. What's his trait? Requires Dimension Force Word 4 to disable. Okay. And it reduces the impact on the owner's focus by 1. So does that mean if we hit him with like diversion or something, it's not actually going to reduce it? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Because that's doing nothing except removing negative states. Whereas on this lad, it's reducing his focus and negative states. Okay. So we can't do anything about that ability. We definitely want to remove the negative states effects on ourselves. We haven't got Dimension Force Deed 4, so we can't actually reduce the damage. Can't actually remove his damage trait either. So that's a shame. So I don't know who's best to hit then, because we're going to have trouble hitting either of them, really, with much of anything. Let's reduce his focus. We might need to regenerate some of our focus in a minute with a strong attack. Because we're going to lose a bit of focus here now when they attack us. So it's slow, but we'll smack that guy. And then yeah, he's not taking much damage at all. But let's heal ourselves a bit, if we can. We get back our focus, we get back our HP as well, wonderful. Yeah, let's just break down his focus and remove suffering from ourselves again. Okay, we've got suffering back on by the look of it. Oh no, it's just bleeding. Receive 1 damage at the end of every round. So for 6 rounds we're taking 2 damage because of all the knife attacks. So, Upir, can you break that guy down? And then our attack will follow. We won't do a lot of damage. But then we can hit with a strong attack next time. So yeah, that guy is in trouble. As for this guy... yeah, bloody penance. He's got loads of health. That's you out of the picture. You're going to knife us. Now we've got perfectionism and adrenaline. We could potentially interrupt his action. Upir does good damage. We did good damage, all told. Now action reaction will be enough. That was tricky.
Get off my lawn.
There will be no burglars here today.
Victor? I heard a noise. Are you alright?
I'm fine. We've had a few unwelcome visitors.
Burglars? What's wrong with this town? I'll call Uncle.
There's no rush. I don't think they'll try to rob anyone anytime soon.
Nothing else to do in the garden, I assume. But if I hadn't come out this way, that might have led to trouble down the line. So I'm glad I did. And now we've got main quests. We've got side quests. Visit the Loan Shark's old place. So Warsaw is where we met a loan shark. They died. Let's try and set our dreams at rest. That seems like a good thing to do first. We want restful dreams. But we might have to look for these restful dreams next time. Until then, thanks for watching, friends.